Okay, we are back for round 5 on the play again, which is kind of nice. Here we'll get to see if cast out's worth it. Obviously, kind of comparing to like Anguished Unmaking or Blessed Alliance, and we'll be able to see. Obviously, it's all an interactive hand, but don't really want to mulligan, good mana and everything. So more interactive hand, not necessarily a bad thing, and we'll kind of have to see how this hand plays out. So we are John Death Shadow, maybe 4-color Death Shadow. All they have is Stomping Ground. So, I mean, they can Street Wraith into a black land. What they would do is, so kind of like what we did 2 rounds ago. They have 2 threats and a discard spell. We have a path. So the option is take their discard spell so they can't take the path, and then we can cast the path, or just take the threat right off the bat. And I think this time I'm going to take the threat. They take my path, so be it. We don't give them a land, and this deck's going to want some lands. We obviously do have interaction for the creatures this time, but it's still a little slow. I kind of want to leave Battle Rage in their hand. I think it's fine. I can maybe, hopefully, like get it in response. If they Inquisition me, they'll get to see that I do have a cast out, which they can't take. But as of right now, we don't know if they can cast Inquisition necessarily. So they can Tarfire themselves. They can shock themselves. If they do Street Wraith into a fetch land, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on the Stopping Ground. 9 if they Tarfire themselves, so that makes Death Shadow live. So maybe they'd opt to do that. All in all, given they have I'm going to put things into their graveyard. Tarmogoyf's going to be a threat pretty early, and I'd rather play my game out a little bit first. So I'm just going to go ahead and take their threat. And while cast out's slow and it is an answer in a matchup that we want answers, so, all right, well, they got their fetch land. If it was a different matchup, again, we'd still have the opportunity to cycle. So that's something to consider. So taking their path, or taking my path, just leaves us without much to do, but also doesn't leave them too much to do yet. And obviously I get to take their threat. Like, we're still trading 1 for 1 here. I would have pathed their Tarmogoyf, or I would have probably had to path their Tarmogoyf. So now at least they just don't have the land. Alright, Stomping Ground, Death Shadow, Tarfire themselves. So I don't think I want to cycle cast out. Definitely not anymore. That we have an answer. They're not running blue, so I can wait on this path to exile. And then I also still have a cast out for whatever their play is. I might just take a hit though. Unless I draw exactly Sorin, I don't need the 4 mana. And it would be ideal if I could path in response to a Battle Rage. Ooh, they went and got a land. Interesting. Okay, all the Uvenwalds. Okay, so now I'm going to path because they have 2 threats. I can still cast out in response to Battle Rage. They know about the cast out, so they probably won't play around it. I was thinking they didn't know about the path, so it was possible they didn't play around that, but they do know about the Battle Rage, so... Or sorry, they do know about the cast out. They have 1 unknown card. Alright, well... I think I'm just going to... I could also block, but I'd rather keep the vent as a threat later. I'm going to want this land at some point anyway. I have plenty of colors, so I'm just going to fetch a basic. I don't think there's any reason not to respond to this. I don't think they have any instant speed way of... I guess Kolaghan's Command makes me discard, but that's just... I'll discard a planes and it's fine. So I'll just wait. Not worried about a counterspell. I don't think they have any main deck enchantment removal. And they won't know about the second cast out. I'm not going to bait the Battle Rage out. It's still at a high life total, which is great, but don't want to push it. Targeting themselves. Okay. Okay. Last card is Battle Rage. They plus Liliana. Yep. So no value off that yet. Do they even have a creature in here? They have a Tarmogoyf and a Street Wraith. Street Wraith's problematic potentially. So now it's a matter of Bitter Blossom or Cast Out. Cast Out. The Liliana's going to give them a creature, and I can't quite kill Liliana fast enough before they get a ton of value, and they'll be killing my Bitter Blossom tokens and all that. The other option is Bitter Blossom now, and then the following turn before this token triggers, I guess it doesn't matter, I could just cast out the Liliana, but I'm going to do that now, and then I'm going to keep planes in my hand in case of Kolaghan's Command. So I'm going to do it either now or on their upkeep. So may as well do it now. And then if they have creatures, I can chump block with Bitter Blossom. Unless, so let's see. The other option is if I cast the land now, if I draw another land, then I can Bitter Blossom and attack with Vent. But I don't think that's worth it. Okay. Grimflare is annoying because it does not let me chump block. But Ghost Quarter Stomping Ground's real. And I don't want to let them value Battle Rage their Grimflare, because that lets them trigger twice. So I'm going to go ahead and do this now. So they'll only get one trigger out of the flare. It's possible they don't have another red source. I get to scry a bunch, which is scary, but what? Did they just do nothing? All tops? Top, top. Okay. Path's good. So now what we'll do is get a hit in. Start chipping away. Death Shadow is scary. Push is obnoxious. I will... Guess there's no reason not to wait until they attack. Okay. Wasted Inquisition. And Goyf. Alright. Well, the Tarmogoyf we can chump block forever, which we could not with the Grimflayer, so that's good. Lingering Souls is an excellent draw. And we are dead to a Battle Rage at some point. But we do have a good path to victory. Not enough. Oh, it is enough. Alright, so that was a huge mistake. Well, I didn't know if they had 2 stomping grounds. The open fetch land would have been a thing. But this is going to put us to 1 and then we... Oh no, this just kills us. So if we blocked with 3 tokens... It's 12 power. We go to 9. Deals 9. We go to 2. We go to 1. We have 1 token to attack with. They go to 1. And then we die the following turn because Bitter Blossom kills us. So I should have thought about this better. A lot better. But we would have had outs. Virtue, Sorin, or Brutality. Inquisition would not have got there. Alright, well, we would have lost anyway, but that was a pretty big mistake on my end. That was close, though. That was, again, Battle Rage is scary there. I think I was just assuming they didn't have it, or they didn't have another red source. It's good to know they have 2 stomping grounds. They do have at least 1 of each basic of the other colors. Yeah. So I would have needed 2 tokens to make him to put him dead at 2 life, which I should have done that math because if they would have put him to 1, I would have just blocked with everything, and then I would have had 1 token left over, kill him for 1. So I should have done that math. But being at 2, I would have needed a spare token, which I didn't have. Because if I blocked with 2 of them, I would have gone down to 1 life and would have died to Bitter Blossom. So. Mistake on my end, was not punished in the end because I would have lost that game, but good to know that. So here, Rest in Peace actually shuts down Tarmogoyf's. Grimflayer is a good amount, and Traverse, I think it's a little bit better. This deck is a little less interactive, so the Basilisk Collar might be better. Wrath of God might be better. Halo's good. Auriok Champion's not as good because of Tarmogoyfs and Grimflayers. Or no, Grimflayer's still good, but Grimflayer tramples over. The Shave of Thoughtseize again. Brutality's interesting because you can get a Grimflayer early. I think I definitely want Rest in Peace now. One auto my removal. They don't have Staticaster. They could have Golgari Charm, but it's less scary, so I'm going to shave a Virtue. As much as I always want 1 Virtue, in a grindier matchup, it's tough to have too many of those. It's kind of annoying, so... So it's Cast Out seemed good. It's probably better than Brutality. Rune Halo. I'm gonna bring in Collar, I think, instead of Wrath. Or, sorry, I guess it'd still be Collar or Wrath. Don't know what I would hit with Surgical. I or I'm on the play, so maybe I'll keep the brutality and on the draw. Oh no. Did I miss my time? Might have missed my time. Alright, well I'm gonna keep this hand anyway. A lot of mistakes today's guys, sorry. It's watching the World Cup at the same time, which is probably a mistake to do. And yeah. But 2 threats, 2 kill spells, all the mana to cast them. I can path a turn 2 play. I'm fairly Thoughtseize proof, just being redundant here. And so we'll have to kind of see what they take. It'll kind of tell us about their hand, obviously. Yeah, I think it has to be Benalia just because that's more of a threat to them. Well, it's definitely better given I drew another path. It was better for them to have taken the history. I'm gonna play anything, not gonna play them a pass. So they'll probably wait till I tap out, which is fine. I don't think they're running counter spells. They can kill the enchantment, but that's okay. I still get a 2/2 out of the deal. Interesting. They do have blue. Okay. Still up on that trade, and then I do get to keep Bitter Blossom, which is better for us, especially still being at 20. Yeah. All right, so they don't have the Stubborn Denial. So I can path attack, or I can path Bitter Blossom wait. Attack him down to 6. I think I want to get them while I can. Land obviously would have been great. Then I could also cast Bitter Blossom, but that is okay. I do give them enough lands to do whatever they want, which is kind of scary, but I think now it's more likely that Bitter Blossom's great. So is Lingering Souls, but I think I'd rather leave up Path. I guess by leave up, I mean I should probably path it now and get in there for 2 again if I can. Okay, so only 2 basics. It's good to know about. Snapcaster would have been tough there, but it's not a huge deal. Liliana will be annoying, but that's also okay. I think I can Sorin minus. And I'm really taxing the Liliana here. It's going to attack just for fun, but a Snapcaster block would be pretty brutal. So, yeah, kill that. Now they need to like spend cards on my other creatures, I think. Street Wraith's not scary. I think Cast Out wins. face. I could kill one token, but still leaves us in pretty good shape. I guess I could have hit the Lily, just attacked with the flyer, and then we probably win a long game, but I didn't want to be dead to a sweeper. I guess I had Lingering Souls and Bitter Blossom. We were winning that game regardless. But all right, so what went differently that game? Basically, I was able to answer all their threats. That's all it is. Okay, I'm gonna lose a Brutality for sure. Oh yeah. So I forgot. I didn't get to sideboard. So cutting a Thoughtseize. I think I'll cut a Virtue. It's just Liliana. Halo and Rest in Peace. And we said, as expensive as it is, like cast out Wrath. If I can hit 2 creatures with Wrath, it's really good. And then save a cast out for a Lily or something like that. And with all of that, I don't think I need the Collar. Might keep Brutality to hit a creature early. It's either that or leave in a Virtue, but I don't think I want that. It's definitely a grindier matchup. Rather leave in the Brutality. And again, I don't try to think this way, but there is always a chance that you can just like edge them out of a game with if they're at 1 or 2 life and Brutality their face. So I'm weak to a Thoughtseize on their turn 1, but not anymore now that they didn't hit it. I'm gonna go turn 2 Blossom, and then I'll play my tap land after that. Land, Tarfire. Not a problem. Bobble. Target themselves, shuffle it away. With Catacombs, which I knew about. Don't have green for Abrupt Decay yet. Okay. So probably go next turn Vent, and then Wrath and Path. If this Bitter Blossom can stay open, then we're pretty good. Tarfire, Traverse, Death Shadow, cool. So can't cast Wrath now. Can cast History. So they can shock themselves, not attacking, it shocks them down to 7. Death Shadow would be 6. Let's just say they do something else. He's bigger, and then Battle Rage. Tapping out's tough. Should have thought of that before. I should have played Vent and just left it open. See if this bites me. Oh wait, I know they had 2 lands in their hand, so they would need to draw Battle Rage and something else. So right now, if they have exactly Battle Rage, they can go down to 7. It's a 6/6. Yeah, I'm not dead. I can try to catch up later. Alright, so now we can keep Path to Exile up. They would need to have Battle Rage in hand now. And a counterspell. I'm not going to cast the Bitter Blossom. I think that's just too likely to kill me. We are seeing kind of the awkwardness with History of Benalia and Wrath of God. It's possible I would Wrath right now. So the only way I lose is if they have like Battle Rage and counterspell, because like they can deal themselves enough damage to where it's an issue now. Counterspell for the Path to Exile, obviously. But what I'll do is maybe Path before I decide blocks. Ooh, I did just make their Death Shadow bigger. I didn't quite consider that. Yeah, they could have done it themselves, so... Alright, so no more known cards except for whatever they do now. Let's just say they counter. This will put them down to 4. Death Shadow would be a 6/9. Gore Clan puts it up to 13. I'm dead to Bitter Blossom. If I block with 1, If I Path now, they can just cast the Gore Clan if they go to 6, in which case Vent, Night, Fairy is lethal. If they have a counterspell for my Path, then I have to block. So if they have Battle Rage in hand, no, Battle Rage and Gore Clan doesn't matter because I Path wins. So question is, do I block first, wait for them to Gore Clan, and then Path and get my value out of it? But I don't think I need to do that because if they... Like the Gore Clan doesn't keep them alive, regardless. I'm going to do this first. And then I'll know if I need to block or not. If this resolves, I don't need a block, and I win even through a Gore Clan Rampager. Because my Knights are going to be 4/4s. Yeah. So I was really far ahead, and I basically just didn't need to be greedy. Because if Path resolved, I would win regardless. That was the thinking here, just with Shambling Vent. And if they had a removal spell or something in their hand, they only had 2 cards, right? I think they only had 2 cards. Gore Clan and an unknown card. I think they just drew to see what they had. But if they had a removal spell in hand, then they couldn't cast Gore Clan Rampager, so it didn't matter either way. So, all right, got some redemption on Death Shadow. Yes, it was Jund, but still better than not. Up to 3-2, clawing our way back a little bit. So hopefully we can keep on the win streak for a little while longer.